It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Baltimore Ravens. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Baltimore Ravens. Two one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Here's the local Texas product, J.K. Dobbins. And some room to work. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A huge play there right off the bat. 47 yards on the ground.
1st down, Baltimore.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. From the gun is Eason. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking that time to get it to Paris Campbell, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. He's going to be close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Texans' 23. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And it brings up 3rd down.
On 3rd down. Hines. He'll have a 1st down inside the 10. And down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, You go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Here's a give to Dobbins. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Blanketed coverage by Houston. Makes it 4th down. Bradley Roby there defensively.
I spotted man coverage on the outside. I expect we'll see a lot of that from this defense as this game moves on. And that was a good job there, as that one was knocked away.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Made at the 25-yard line. The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He fakes the give here and looks to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
At the 44-yard line.
He's going to be met at about the 43. Bradley Roby, the quarterback, there to make the stop.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore.
This is caught inside the 15. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down.
1st down, Ravens.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's caught. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Marquise Brown, his 2nd touchdown on the season as the Ravens push further out in front. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter.
Ravens 10, Texans nothing.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded in the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Johnson, the ball carrier.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, You could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It'll be a 41-yard punt, give them 5 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over
at their own 27-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 27-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Eason going to throw it out of the shotgun. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Eason. And that will be incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. On the return comes Cobb. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. He'll start with a handoff to Johnson. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Duke Johnson.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Out of the gun, Watson. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first 2 possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And that will skip out of bounds right at about the 18-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4. That's the end of the first quarter. With the score, Ravens 10, Texans nothing.
And he's got room. He's at the 50, 30, the 20, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown.
The ball carrier.
Naeem Hines, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Ravens will extend their lead. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating to use a box.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college. And our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taken in the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Space to maneuver at the 40. And gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Loss of a yard.
They'll try the air now with Watson. And this one grabbed by Darren Fells. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 38-yard line. 11 yards there, 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Running from the gun, Johnson. And he gets it down to the 32. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Working with a 2nd and 4. Former All-Pro, this is David Johnson. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5. From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And now Watson throws another interception. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. 2nd straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And finally out of bounds down near the 10-yard line. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 64 yards.
1st down.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. 1st and 10, Eason. Forced out to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. And he'll be out of bounds. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. Now a handoff for Dobbins. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. J.K. Dobbins with his 1st career NFL touchdown. And the Ravens continue to pour it on.
The kick is good.
And he'll bang that one through.
Makes the score, Ravens 31, Texans nothing. Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this 1st half as the kick's away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in the 2nd week of the regular season. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Chuck Clark brought him down. A gain of a yard. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Now Watson from the gun on 3rd down. And he finds Stills, complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. On 1st and 10, Watson. It's complete. Stills. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Another first down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. To the air yet again, Watson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or...
This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And this offense continues to pour it on. And he's been a busy man. 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Ravens 38, Texans nothing. Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
5-yard line. The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And once again, they stop him behind the line. Great job by this Ravens defense. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. 3rd and 11. And some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime. A shotgun snap for Watson. And Stills bringing it in. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. A final shot before the break. Watson escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Faking the give. Now Watson. Open man. The tight end falls. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Watson a give. This is Johnson. Solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson on the move to his left. On the left side, this is Stills. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. First down carry here for Johnson. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive. And once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
You got nothing. No.
Again, it's Johnson. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
Johnson.
A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. They'll employ the jumbo set now on 2nd and 1. A give, the first man through, Gillespie, the fullback. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Texans claw one back. Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again. They go to the big man. Second time he gets it done.
Almost as if they were feeling like he was establishing a rhythm. Give it to him again and again, and how about the end result? Finishes it off in the end zone.
Touchdown, great run, and the score. And this carries into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Still comfortably on top, 3rd quarter, as they start things here with a 1st and 10. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And he'll be taken down by the face mask, it appeared. And yes, out come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the penalty yards marched off on the face mask. Here's 1st and 10.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat. I'm here all day.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
41 Mike, right here, 41 Mike. All day.
They'll run here with Dobbins. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Another run here with Dobbins. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Now Cobb to return. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return, and the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 21-yard line.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12.
Let's put that team on the bus. Watch the edge.
From the gun, Watson. On the catch, it's Duke Johnson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
It was a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Give him 7 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one.
Squeeze, double.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play.
Texans 7.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And this is incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on fourth. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you. Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. Come on, boy.
Here's a give to Dobbins running right. Dobbins hit and he fumbles. And the Texans scoop it. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think that you take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
A good first down call as the screenplay gets them 9. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And he can't hang on. He had a good shot there for his 3rd pick of the game. Instead, it's 3rd down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
At the 50-yard line.
Check. Seven's a Mike 7.
From the 50, it's Watson. He'll take a shot for the end zone. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, 50 yards. And the Texans get a bit closer. The 21st pick back in the 2016 draft, Will Fuller, and we know that he can take the top off of a defense.
He certainly can, and the way that he does it is just straight, pure speed. And I saw it with one of the better defensive coordinators in the league, and I said, how do you defend that? And he said, at times, you absolutely don't. If the quarterback gets time and he heaves it downfield, Will Fuller's going to outrun any coverage you put out there.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 14. They'll go again with Dobbins. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
At their own 22-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Trying to get it that time to Stills, but it's going to be 2nd down. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
So that one will be accepted. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Let him know, let him know. White, 36. Hey, 59. 36. Switch up, switch up. Watch.
Operating from the gun, Watson. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Fielded in the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. It's complete to Fuller. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 40.
That one goes for 30 yards. From the gun, Watson, flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Kenny Stills, but it'll be 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again, Watson. He gets this one to Johnson. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. The Texans on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Finding Fields complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. There's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they started to execute it, and they started to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Now Watson, he's going to lead the Texans up to go for 2. clamoring for the goal line. He loses the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens.
Well, that two-point attempt failed due to the fumble, but people that can't see this, but you've got a ball in your hands now, and you've got the thing locked in pretty well. You've got it covered up.
I love having a football in the booth. I always hang on to it. Makes me feel like I actually played back in my day.
Well, you probably could have. If you'd run that play, you would not have fumbled, I can tell you that.
Maybe. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The throw here to Andrews, the tight end. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Watch the run, watch the run.
From the gun is Eason. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Matthew Judon in there to take him down. You got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Eason sets to throw it. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
Partner's been my experience that after 2 stops like that near the goal line, defense has only become bolder. They don't back off at all. I think they continue to bring pressure and force them to make a really big play against them.
And the incompletion, then the run for no gain. Let's see now. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Dobbins. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Well, if this defense can hold them to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Ravens, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.